You already spoke about the benefits as far as you're concerned as for green burial grounds, and that was one of the questions which I had written out. But one of the things which you haven't spoken about is it cheaper?
Yes and no. Depends which
Hmm.
burial ground you go to,
Okay.
where you are in the country.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about South Downs. I'm really sad. Okay, when I set it up back in 2000, as I've said previously,
Mhm.
my single plots were 350 quid.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, inflation's good, but because of this Environment Agency stipulation, it's a hugely busy site.
Yeah.
One of the busiest, if not the busiest in the country. But the trustees now have looked at this new 100 burials per annum, and they've wanted to put the brakes on the number of people using it. So they have put the price up
Yeah.
to an eye-watering figure that means that burial at South Downs is now going to be the privilege of the rich
That's
only. And
unfortunate.
I'm so sad. But a single plot now, are you sitting down? Yes.
Yes.
£4,500.
Wow, that is super expensive. And if we compare that to like a traditional burial, it's what, £3,000 for a burial plot? 4,000?
Well, yeah, it depends. If you're in the countryside,
Yeah.
most local parishes and churchyards, you can buy a plot for under 300 quid
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you're a local.
Yeah.
Um, on average, my members, even though now they've pushed theirs up to £4,500, it's going to affect the average if I include them in the figures. Well, up until recently, the average was £800 for a plot,
Yeah.
which
That's quite good.
compares very favourably
Mhm.
with urban cemeteries.
Yeah.
If I think in London, out of the 31 or 32 boroughs of London, I think Haringey is the most expensive last time I looked, and I think for a single plot you're looking at, as a resident of that borough, I think you're looking at just under 9,000.
Yeah. Wow.
So, but I mean, if I Google Manchester, Birmingham, any of the big urban areas,
Mhm.
and look at their cemetery prices, yeah, you're looking 3, 4, £5,000 for a plot,
Yeah.
and the digging. I mean, they charge so much for grave preparation; it's extraordinary. But across the board, my members,
Mhm.
apart from South Downs now, are affordable.
Okay. Okay. That's good
And,
to know.
and the other really, really important thing that makes the difference between having a burial at one of the natural burial grounds and having a regular burial
Mhm.
is that the natural burial grounds in general support and will help families doing a DIY funeral.
Yes.
Therefore, the families are saving £2,500 because they're not employing a funeral director. Now,
That's an interesting point.
that can make a huge difference in the overall cost of the funeral.
Sure, sure, sure. Because I always thought as burials, natural burials, as being a cheaper option, but this new legislation is obviously going to affect things. But overall, it still
It's
seems
still,
it is cheaper, which is great to
yeah.
hear because we're pushing it